The indie film profit dilemma. Who really wins when a tiny movie makes millions? Imagine spending years creating a movie on a shoestring budget. Your friends help carry equipment. Your family loans you money. You film in borrowed locations because you can't afford a studio. Then suddenly, against all odds, your film becomes a worldwide sensation and generates hundreds of millions of dollars. Sounds like the ultimate Hollywood dream, right? Well, not exactly. Because when a low-budget independent film becomes a surprise blockbuster, a difficult question emerges. Who deserves the profits? The creators who took the artistic risk? The investors who provided the money? Or the giant streaming platforms and distributors that turn the film into a global phenomenon? Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating debates in modern entertainment, the growing controversy over who really benefits when indie films strike gold. Welcome back to the channel. If you enjoy movie industry insights, Hollywood business stories, and behind-the-scenes entertainment news, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Now let's get into it. Because this isn't just a movie story. It's a story about money, power, creativity, and the future of independent filmmaking. Section 1: The magic of the indie blockbuster. Hollywood has always loved underdog stories. And nowhere is that more obvious than in the world of independent cinema. Every few years, a tiny film emerges from nowhere and shocks the industry. These movies often have minimal budgets, unknown actors, and little marketing support. Yet somehow they connect with audiences in a way that expensive studio productions sometimes cannot. One of the most famous examples remains the Blair Witch Project. Made for a tiny budget, the film became a cultural phenomenon and generated enormous box office revenue. Suddenly, everyone wanted to discover the next indie sensation. More recently, streaming platforms have created an entirely new path to success. Instead of relying solely on theatrical releases, independent films can now reach audiences in dozens of countries overnight. A movie that might once have played in a handful of theaters can suddenly become a worldwide conversation. And that's where the profit dilemma begins. Because the larger the success, the bigger the questions become. Section 2: The creator's argument. From the filmmaker's perspective, the answer seems simple. Without the creators, there would be no movie. Writers spend years developing scripts. Directors sacrifice time, money, and career opportunities. Actors often work for reduced pay because they believe in the project. Many independent filmmakers take enormous personal risks. Some max out credit cards. Others borrow money. Many spend years trying to get a single film completed. When their movie finally becomes successful, they naturally feel entitled to a substantial share of the rewards. After all, they created the product that audiences fell in love with. Supporters of this view argue that creative talent is often undervalued compared to financial investment. Without imagination, storytelling, and artistic vision, there would be nothing to distribute, market, or stream. Therefore, creators should receive a larger portion of the profits when a project becomes unexpectedly successful. But that's only one side of the story. Section 3: The investor's argument. Investors see things differently. They point out that independent films are among the riskiest investments in entertainment. Most movies lose money. Many never even secure meaningful distribution. For every breakout success, there are countless projects that disappear without generating returns. Investors often provide funding with no guarantee of success. They're the ones taking financial risks while hoping the creative team can deliver something audiences want to watch. From this perspective, investors deserve significant rewards when a film succeeds. Why? Because they accepted the possibility of losing everything. Without financial backing, many independent films would never exist in the first place. This argument becomes especially strong when investors fund multiple projects, absorbing losses on unsuccessful films while relying on occasional hits to offset those failures. To them, blockbuster profits are not a windfall. They're compensation for years of risk-taking. Section 4: Enter the streaming giants. Now let's add another player to the equation. Streaming platforms. In today's entertainment landscape, companies can transform a small movie into a global event. A film that once might have reached a few 100,000 viewers can suddenly reach millions. Streaming services provide infrastructure, marketing, technology, and worldwide distribution. They introduce films to audiences who otherwise might never discover them. Supporters argue that the platform's recommendation algorithms, promotional campaigns, and international accessibility help drive success. Critics, however, argue that giant media companies often capture an outsized share of the profits. The concern is that creators may generate the cultural value while corporations collect the majority of the financial rewards. As streaming becomes more dominant, this debate continues to intensify. Section 5: Why this debate matters. This conversation isn't just about money. It's about the future of creativity. If filmmakers feel they won't fairly benefit from success, fewer people may be willing to take creative risks. If investors believe returns are limited, they may stop funding ambitious independent projects. And if distribution platforms can't profit from their services, they may become less willing to support niche or experimental films. The challenge is finding a balance that rewards everyone involved. A healthy entertainment ecosystem requires creators, investors, and distributors. Remove any one of those elements, and the system struggles. That's why industry experts continue searching for better revenue-sharing models. The goal is ensuring that success benefits all contributors, not just the most powerful participants. Section 6: The changing landscape of Hollywood. What's making this issue even more important is the changing nature of movie consumption. Traditional box office numbers used to provide a relatively clear measure of success. Today, streaming data is often more complicated. Viewership metrics aren't always public. Revenue structures can be difficult to understand. And determining exactly how much value a film creates isn't always straightforward. As a result, disputes over compensation and profit participation have become increasingly common. Writers, directors, actors, producers, investors, and distributors all want transparency.